Chet, initiate the gambling. Yeah, I know, they're crazy about it. Fucking fiends, man. I know, it's crazy. What is up, everybody? Welcome to your Friday. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the show. It's gonna be a good one today. Got a lot to talk about, man. I'm excited to talk a little bit about Dune 2. I was able to go check it out yesterday, and spoiler alert, I loved it. So we're gonna talk about that. But there's kind of like a part two to my take on Dune, because I loved it and I want to gush about it. I want to talk about the things that I really liked, but also Dune will not be the next Star Wars. That also became obvious to me, and we're going to talk about that too, because it's kind of interesting. Like, I was wondering and I was kind of thinking, I was trying to unpack why that was, and I think that'll be a cool discussion, because Dune, it's interesting. Dune has been around for a long time. And Dune, in a lot of ways, is foundational, and it is the inspiration for Star Wars. I believe even Star Trek, although I don't actually know the timing on that. And it's certainly a huge influence on, like, Warhammer 40K. However, there's a couple of things that are very specific to Dune that it just doesn't translate into a lot of mass appeal. And so I don't think it's actually going to be the next Star Wars. I don't think it's going to blow up to this crazy, it's the new hottest IP kind of a level. And by the way, that's okay. I think that's okay. And so part of the take is like, no, Dune is not the next Star Wars. And that's okay. So there's like a conversation to be had about how awesome the movie is. What Hollywood should sort of learn from this, because I think it is going to succeed in a very, very big way. But also, like, no, it's not the next big franchise. Like, Dune, frankly, we'll get in there, but it's too fucking weird. That's what Dune is. It's too fucking weird. And I think that's why it's actually never been what some of these other franchises and IP are. So I want to kind of unpack that and get into that too with you guys as well. There's also, of course, Superman information, Superman news. So, the other day, I think it was Wednesday, there was like no news. It's been a super dry week for news, but I think it was like on Wednesday, we were just going over my comics, and some people were like, well, why don't you talk about the Superman logo from the script? There was like a logo on the Superman script. And I was like, dude, no. Like, I'm not going to talk about a logo on a script. Like, that's not cool enough. That's not good enough. That's not big enough. That's not really news. But then James Gunn releases the actual Superman logo, the actual, like, from the suit, it would appear, with some snow on it. And he also changed the name of the movie. And so now I am essentially forced to talk about the Superman logo. And so we're going to talk about the Superman logo, talk about the Superman movie. There is some cool stuff to kind of get into with that. There's a little bit of Marvel stuff too. There's like some Marvel stuff that I wanted to get into as well. Some rumors about Deadpool. And other than that, I don't think there's too much else going on. There was some other story. I can't exactly remember. Maybe I'll be refreshed as I look at the tweeters and look at all the stuff that's going on. It's not snow, it's nose beers. What the hell? So yeah, we'll get into all of that. I think there was something else. There was something else going on, man. I don't remember what it was. Oh, you know what it is? The Star Wars game that got canceled. That's the one, man. We wanted to talk about the Star Wars game that got canceled. So that's kind of the agenda for today. Now, I will say we're ready to launch the Unity Second Chance Kickstarter, but I'm probably going to launch that around noon. So I want to wait until around noon, and then we'll launch the Second Chance Kickstarter, and I'll have some stuff to say about that as well. I also want to say show notes for the channel. We're going to be giving away not one, but two $200 GameStop gift cards today. So later on in the stream, we will be giving away those gift cards. If you are a member here on YouTube, you're automatically entered to win. If you are a member over on Twitch, you are automatically entered to win as well. And you can actually do both. You can be a member here on YouTube, and you can be a member over on Twitch. And you know what I realized the other day too? This is kind of crazy. You could actually get 2 entries to win the $200 GameStop gift card for free. Okay, so here's how this would work. I was thinking about this. I was like, damn, this is crazy. Let's say you got a gifted member. Like you got a gifted membership on YouTube, right? And then you have Amazon Prime, and then you became a member on Twitch using your Amazon Prime, which is no additional cost to you. You could technically get 2 entries to win for free. And also, if you are that person and you end up winning the GameStop gift card, holy crap, people will hate you. People will absolutely hate you if you end up doing that. But I also was like, hey, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool. Like, you technically could do that. I can't figure out the Prime thing. Well, I mean, I think you just you click the subscribe button on the channel, which, by the way, shout out to everybody that's watching on Twitch. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Twitter. Yes, I'll never call it X. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Kick. I assume we're still live on Kick, but Kick, for some reason, is not integrated into any of this shit. And shout out to everybody that's watching on YouTube. Really appreciate it, as always. Helldivers 2 stream? Maybe. I've been loving Helldivers 2, man. It is quite a fun game, and apparently they're working on content updates and whatnot, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm a YouTube bot. Okay, cool. Good for you, man. Good for you over there with the YouTube bot. Appreciate the bots. All the bots. Much love. Okay, so let me think. Is there anything else we want to go over? I mean, how are you guys doing? Before we get into any of these topics, how are you guys doing, man? How's life? Everything okay? Good week, bad week? How you guys doing? What's good, Twitch Avengers? Okay, what about the Prime thing? About that Prime thing. Oh, you figured it out? Did you figure it out over there? Dune 2 gave me Warhammer vibes. Loved it. Oh, yeah, man. It's funny. One of the things I said as we were driving home after we saw the movie, I told Elise, I said, I couldn't help it. In a couple of parts during Dune, I was like, okay, this is really cool, but it would be so much cooler if it was Warhammer. Like, I'm sorry. I know Moss is probably she's going to get super triggered, but it's true, okay? So one of the, there's a couple of shots that they have, like, thrones and, all this pomp and all this stuff, right? So the thing is, Dune, which, by the way, I love Dune 2. I said that before, but, I'll say it again. I loved Dune 2. I thought it was great. But the architecture and something like the set design in a lot of these things is very subtle. It reminds me of kind of like modern art. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's sort of less pronounced. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it. In Warhammer, though, Warhammer is like high gothic. And so everything is like, especially if it's Imperial, is like turned up to 11. And you've got just crazy fucking statues, high gothic structures, like it really, really crazy visually looking things. And even though I liked Dune, there was several moments where I was like, okay, this is cool, but oh my God, if we were watching this with Warhammer, oh man, this would be on another level. So, yeah. But also, too, and this is, of course, important to point out, Dune, there is no Warhammer without Dune. So the Dune novels influence, all the Warhammer writers, all the Warhammer game creators, everybody that works on that. They influence George Lucas. Somebody help me out with the Star Trek thing. I'm really not familiar with Star Trek at all, but I would imagine Star Trek takes inspiration from Dune, unless Star Trek predates Dune. That's the thing. I'm not really sure about that. But Dune is like sort of the foundation of all of that science fiction. You know what I mean? 100%. This is the same guy that says Rebel Moon was taken off. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking. Like, Rebel Moon, not a great movie. Kind of cool stuff going on there, but not a great movie. And I told you guys to be cautious about Rebel Moon. I was like, don't count your chickens before they crap with Rebel Moon. Nolan says, make my Friday at work go faster, please, and take my money. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I will do both. I'll do both those things. God, it was like not hot in here, and all of a sudden it's getting hot in here. Shit. Dune really isn't anything compared to what it's inspired. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. We're going to have a fight in the tower. I can already tell. We're going to have a fight in the tower. Yeah, before we get deep into the Dune talk, is there anything else going on? What else? Let me scroll up and see how you guys are all doing. Doing all right. Bendu is awesome. What? Dune, yeah, Dune 2. Give me. I'm still stuck on Power World. Power World's great. Power World's great. I actually want to get back into there. If you have to go to Prime Gaming and connect your Twitch, you either go to your Twitch or computer to desktop and a phone. You can wait. What? Yeah. Some people are talking about the Prime thing. Look, for me, it's just connected. Like, my Twitch account is connected to my Prime account. Everything takes from the Bible. What? I mean, are we really going there? We're going full Cat Williams right away? I don't know. I kind of wanted to keep the stream a little bit more on rails today. Shit. The Dune books are sick. Yeah, I kind of feel like reading them. But also, there's just so much Warhammer to read. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much Warhammer to read. The better version of it. Anyway, okay. Should we just talk about Bad Batch? Josh, you don't stop. Josh, you don't read. Stop it. I read. You know what? I probably read more than you guys every single day. Do you know why? Ah, shit, here comes Mas. Except the Bible took heavily from ancient mythology and folk tales. Are you talking about Sumer? Gilgamesh? Anyway, let's stay on topic. Hey, what? Agent Llama got a gifted membership again? I don't want Agent Llama to get a gifted membership. Agent Llama's always triggering me in the Nerd Avengers chat. Mr. J.A., appreciate you, man. And everybody that got it gifted, they appreciate you, too. So, much love, man. Appreciate you. Seconds from Disaster said, what do you think about Halo Season 2 so far? Do you think it's a big step up from Season 1? Story getting deep. I love it. Ah, man. I haven't watched Season 1. I don't plan on watching it. I don't plan on watching Season 2, okay? I'm sorry, man. Like, I love Halo. I consider it to be my duty as a Halo fan to not support that show. Okay? And I know that's gonna, you're toxic. I get it. But I consider it to be my sworn duty to not watch that show, not support it in any way, shape, or form, because I think they just got it wrong. And I only want to watch a Halo show if they get it right. And if they care about the source material, take it seriously. Halo's hopefully one of the last shows like that. Because look, I've never played The Last of Us. I didn't watch the show, but I'm aware that like Neil Druckmann's involvement in the Last of Us show is a big part of why it did so well and feels so, honest to the source material. Halo doesn't have that at all. The Halo 1 show was It's can you redo your tier list and add Dr. Bong? I think he is higher tier than Gabi. Well, he's certainly higher. I don't know if he's higher tier, though. You know what I mean? My gambling is broken. Dang it. Is everybody else gambling working? Is gambling not working right now? Do I need to reset it? Your chat, let me know. Is the gambling busted for everybody right now? Do I need to fix it? No, it seems like people are rolling, man. No, just shut it off. And give us coin. Jesus. I heard season 2 has been solid. New showrunner. So I've heard similar. So I follow the Act Man. I'm sure some of you guys know the Act Man. And I think his take on it was like, it's still crap, but it's better. I'm going to keep going and give it a chance. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, good for him and good for everybody that's been enjoying it. But to me, there's no... If the foundation is broken, it really doesn't matter how you adjust it. The foundation is broken. So I can't support it. I can't support it. It's a hard no for me. And I mean, I can't imagine that this thing's going to keep going. I don't know, man. That's just where I'm at with it. It's like, I cannot accept that show as Halo. I just can't. And I also think there's just so much good shit. Like, there's so much good entertainment, stuff that's being made now, but stuff that was made forever ago. There's great stuff out there to watch. Why would I watch a subpar Halo show that disrespects the lore, disrespects the mythos, and kind of gets better in season 2? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't... It's So Jeed says, don't watch the Halo show, Josh. A single fight scene at the beginning of the season 2 absolutely tricked everyone. It's all more the same nonsense. Aw, shit. Aw, shit, man. You know what? It's kind of funny because I was thinking about this the other day with the Avatar show, right? How many of y'all watched the new Avatar show? On Netflix. So I was watching that show and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, this isn't too bad. Like, I'm kind of enjoying it. Like, it's whatever, right? And then you realize, at least I realized, like, I'm able to enjoy that show because I have never watched the cartoon. I've watched some of it. We watched some of it together, but I don't have that attachment to these characters in that world in the same way other people do. I look on Twitter, I look online, and people that love the show are flaming this Netflix thing, bro. They are shitting all over this Netflix thing. It's pretty divided. It's like 50-50. 50% of people really like the show, 50% of people hate it, bro. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow, I wonder if that's like how some people can appreciate shows like Halo, and even some Star Wars shows. They sort of come at it and they don't have the same baggage and they don't have the same, kind of connection. So they're able to just kind of enjoy the live action show for what it is, So I can see the different perspectives, and it's possible that like my super fandom of Halo is a part of why I can't watch the Halo show. Because I'm just like, what? Nah. No thanks. The changes they made make sense. I'm sure they make sense. I think there's still a lot of people that don't like it. Did you watch Red vs. Blue? Oh, hell yeah, dude. I loved Red vs. Blue. That shit was so funny. Red vs. Blue was great. That was good stuff. Well, there goes the music again, chat. Goddamn. Okay, should we talk a little bit about Dune 2? Should we get into it? Should we begin to speak on Dune 2? So I want to talk about Dune 2. I am going to go into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want spoilers, maybe get out of here for like 5-10 minutes. That's probably the amount of time that I'll kind of deep dive into it and get into it. But went to watch Dune 2 yesterday in the movie theater. And there's a lot of hype around this film, right? You know, people talking about how it's like the next Empire Strikes Back. People talking about how it's maybe one of the best science fiction movies ever made. And when you go to a movie that has that kind of hype, that has that kind of buildup, you go in with expectations. You know what I mean? And you sort of expect to be blown away. And I will say this. I had what I consider pretty high expectations. They were all met. And I think the hype around the movie is real. Like, the hype is well earned. It's real. This is an incredible movie. I think it's better than the first movie. It's also doing more than the first movie. This is a like really complicated narrative. Like, there's a lot going on here, and there's stuff that Denis does that I think you can just appreciate on like the surface level. There's stuff that thinking about it as I was watching, I was like, damn, like, that's really crazy. Like, the way he uses time in the movie is fascinating. There's a lot of moments that sort of end and then a scene starts that has clearly had a passing of time, and it's just it fits really well together where you never sort of lose it. You're never like kind of taken aback. You understand clearly that time is passing. Truly like masterful stuff from like pacing, the character perspective, really brilliant stuff. So I think it's a masterpiece. You know, frankly, it's a masterpiece. The performances, oh my God, I gotta say, I think this movie might have the best just grouping of performances that I've ever seen in a film. It's somewhat centralized on certain characters, and a lot of other characters are somewhat ancillary, and yet every single one of these characters really brings it. I think Rebecca Ferguson, maybe the best I've ever seen her in a movie. She does something in this film that's I've never seen her do before, where there's a turn, right? This is after she drinks the water, and she goes like pretty crazy. And I totally buy it. It shows her range. It's amazing. You know, she was a very calculated, well put together person in the first movie, and she begins the second movie like that. And then there's sort of an event that happens, and she's like a changed person. And I totally buy it. She was incredible in that. I was like, wow, that's very strong. Florence Pugh, also, maybe the best I've ever seen Florence Pugh. That might seem like weird to say because she plays it pretty straight in this film, but there was something about the choices she made in delivery and the sort of nuance and even the way that she holds her face. There was just something about that performance and that character that's very intriguing, fit the world really well. You know, I had heard in an interview leading up to this movie that Florence had said she wanted this role, and Denis kind of tried to like talk her out of it, where he was like, oh, it's not that big of a role. Like, you're not really going to be doing much. Like, you don't have to do it. And she was like, no, I really want to be a part of this. I don't know where that comes from because she literally opens the movie. She's the same character in the old Dune, the David Lynch Dune. She's the same character that opens that film with that weird kind of narration at the beginning. And I thought that was kind of cool because they opened this movie the same way. And she's fantastic, dude. Somewhat reserved, but fantastic. Like, just fits it perfectly. Christopher Walken, big question mark for me. Big question mark for me because he's Christopher Walken. And I mean, Christopher Walken is like such an iconic performer, but his cadence is so specific, right? That, you know, I think a lot of, there was a movie with Sean William Scott and Dwayne The Rock Johnson called The Rundown back in the day. Christopher Walken is a villain in that film. And I constantly think back to a couple of lines from that movie that are just like, to me, quintessential Walken. Like, there's that one where he's like, do you understand the concept of the tooth fairy? You know what I mean? And it's just like that very Walken thing. And so I was like a little bit nervous. You know, I was like, oh shit, is he going to Walken all over this? He does a little bit. But I was actually surprised that in some sort of key important moments, the cadence was different, felt serious, and it doesn't like break the movie, right? Which was something I was genuinely concerned with. Javier Bardem, absolutely incredible. Zendaya, incredible. Although I will say, with Zendaya, I really buy her as like the snarky, scorned, abrasive person. When she plays the softer, caring, loving person, I actually don't buy it as much. And I know that's a bit of a change from the books, right? She's not as combative in the books, from what I understand. Probably a good move to change that in the movie for a number of reasons. One is because Zendaya's performance in that is way more believable, right? Timothy himself, I loved. And, you know, there's some debate, like I've seen some reviewers and some people talk about how when Timothy makes his turn, you don't necessarily buy it. All I can speak for is just my authentic experience. I totally bought it. I was like, dude, when he makes that flip, I fucking bought it, dude. And it was a powerful performance, like really, really good. And he sort of, the tone of the last third of the movie after he makes that switch is very impressive. It's very dark. It's very subtle. It's nuanced, which I really, really enjoyed. Austin Butler, holy shit. Austin Butler, so good. And, you know, it was funny. I was having this conversation with Elisa as we were leaving the theater. She said she liked the fact that he didn't play like a pretty boy role, because a lot of times like actors like that are just known for being good looking, they sometimes will get sort of typecast and they won't get a chance to show like the raw talent sort of outside of the Hollywood looks. You know, Austin Butler is this weird albino-looking psychopath, but he nails it. Like, he really carries that portion of the movie strongly. And I could just go on and on. It's like every single person came with their A game, and it's a testament to Denis to be able to pull these performances together and layer them together in this movie in such a way that it's like a feast. It feels like a feast of cinema. Like everything you're looking for, every part of it is working at like this very optimal level. It's very, very cool. Again, the other thing that's interesting to me about this movie is that it's so dense. Like, it's so dense. There's so much that's going on. There's a lot of things that are explained, this huge passing of time, this complete other chapter with the Harkonnens and his chief rival, the Bene Gesserit, and them sort of playing with the Emperor, playing with these two possible messianic kind of figures, right? So there's like a lot going on, and yet it feels like there's no wasted space. I never feel like it's lagging. Every scene is driven by the characters and the conflicts and their desires. So it's just kind of like top to bottom, functionally a masterpiece. When it gets in to the last third and gets into the real like war movie, when it becomes like an actual war movie, man, what an impressive amount of visual effects, incredible action sequences, all culminating in this big fight between Timothy and Austin Butler. Austin Butler representing the champion of the Emperor. And, you know, this is a moment where Paul Atreides is, you know, basically finding the Emperor guilty for the crimes of, you know, conspiring against his father and destroying House Atreides. Really big, awesome, meaningful moment there. Really cool with all the subtext, with, you know, him saying that he loved Zendaya's character, but then basically forging forward with marriage to the Emperor's daughter for political purposes. Just so much going on and operating in that scene. And it feels very cathartic. You know, I think the feeling I got towards the end of that movie was of catharsis. You know, beginning in the first movie and watching Paul and his whole family disappear and all of that, to the buildup in the desert, to him kind of like being the reluctant hero / war criminal, horrible leader, dictator thing. was fascinating. And then there's real catharsis at the end, for the Atreides. Maybe less so for the Fremen, because you kind of outwardly understand that their faith in Paul is sort of being leveraged and creating, a holy war in his name, as he predicts in the first movie. So like a lot of closed loops, a big amount of catharsis, and yet an incredible amount of intrigue to where it goes next. The houses are gathered. There's this holy war that started. So pretty fantastic stuff. I really did love too the inclusion of the sister of Paul's sister. And again, I'm not super big on the lore and the mythos of Dune, but from what I understand in the books and in the original Lynch movie, this sister comes into play much later, and she actually is the one that kills the Duke. And I think she kills the Duke like as an infant or something like that, right? And so I thought it was a fascinating change to give the sister sentience in the womb via the water, and that thereby sort of warping the timeline of the books and of the original movie in order to have this sister character be a part of the narrative in this present time. Again, it's like, I mean, it's a fucking masterpiece, dude. Like, that's all I can say really is like, it is masterfully done where, in my opinion, even the changes are operating to make it a better narrative, a better movie-going experience, and I think it's truly fantastic. So I would say 10 out of 10, fucking masterpiece. I can't wait to watch it again. I want to watch the first movie again. I'm very excited for the next movie. And so that's kind of my raw review of Dune 2 and just some of the stuff that I loved about it. And I can't say enough good things about the film. But again, I do want to get into, in the next segment, I want to sort of explain why I also think, for as good as the movie is and for as successful as the film will be, Dune is not going to change. Dune's not going to become a new IP that's large in scale, that's big. There's certain things within this movie and within the Dune mythos that I think will prevent that. And just as like sort of a slight example of what I'm talking about, when we walked out of the theater, there was this lady that walked out and she was like sort of distraught and really did not like the movie. And she was asking people around, like, guys, I gotta know what you think, and we sort of stopped and talked about it a little bit. It was kind of interesting to me. This random lady that was like, really needed to talk about it. But it was kind of in that moment, I had this feeling of, well, this shit is not going to be for everybody. And this shit is not going to be the next Star Wars. So I want to talk about that next. But as far as the movie itself, masterpiece, dude. Absolute masterpiece. And I can't wait to see it again. So highly recommend Dune 2. Also, of course, would love to know what you guys think about Dune. If there's any questions, comments, what's going on? Have you seen it yet? When are you going to see it? What do you think of Dune 2? What did you like? What did you love? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. John White, welcome. Welcome back, baby. Did you get the Dune PP? No, they didn't even have it at my theater, to be honest. IMAX tomorrow, baby. Yeah, I'd love to see it in IMAX. I'd love to see it in IMAX for sure. There's a definite lack of laser swords and space fights. So I agree, not the next Star Wars. Not nearly as Flash, not really for kids. Yeah, it's definitely not for kids. I didn't love the first one, so I'm hoping to get into this one. Do you know what? That is a really interesting question. How many people that did not like the first one will like the second one? What do you guys think? Do you think that... I gotta be honest with you. If you didn't like the first one, I don't see you liking the second one. That's my take. Because it still does a lot of the things the first movie does. Yeah. Is Dune 2 talk done? No, we're still going to talk about it. Still going to talk about it. Let me ask you, if Game of Thrones can take off, why can't Dune? Because I think Game of Thrones, at its core, is really a show about morally gray characters that are pretty easy to understand. So, I also think Game of Thrones, part of the Game of Thrones formula and why Game of Thrones was so popular is timing. Meaning, I think there was an appetite for a more mature version of Lord of the Rings. And high fantasy with boobs and sex and even some wieners. Dragons help for sure, but the dragons don't really come in until later. Game of Thrones, the show, was very successful before the dragons. And so that's I think part of it. You know, Game of Thrones is also, despite being super dark and super mature, I think Game of Thrones is also a little bit more merchandisable, which might seem weird, but yeah, I think that's part of it. Look, part of this is just timing. Like even Star Wars itself. Star Wars probably would not have blown up the way that it did if it didn't come out when it did. Meaning, like, this was after the Vietnam War. This is after a long part of, like, the late 60s and the 70s of really sort of dark, you know, anti-hero movies, questioning authority, questioning hope. All of these sort of things were going on. That's, like, the collective consciousness at the time. Star Wars kind of comes out and is counter to that. Star Wars comes out and introduces, you know, hope, morality, fantasy elements, a little bit more like Robin Hood-esque type of stories. And I think the timing is a big part of it. And I just don't think Dune has that going for it right now. Like, I don't think Dune is servicing this big appetite of the masses and like the collective consciousness of people that are like watching these stories. I don't think so. But of course, that's just one man's take. But yeah, that's kind of part of it. What the fuck? Breaking news about Tyler Perry? Well, you'll have to link me to that. I don't know how breaking all that news is. But anyway, let's get into Dune 2 just a little bit more. Like, first of all, how many of you guys saw Dune 2? Throw a 1 into the chat if you saw it. Because that's another thing is it did very well in previews, right? It did very well. It did like double what the first movie did, but I still don't think it does. It's not like crushing. Like, what I mean is, I think there's a lot of you that are going to see it over the weekend. There's a lot of you that will see it over the next couple of weeks. And I think the movie will be very successful. If not $1 billion movie, very close. Very close. Yeah. I think it's crushing, bro. I mean, it's doing very well, but it's not like Spider-Man No Way Home level. It's not Avengers level. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's doing real well. If it opens like globally close to 200 milli, dude, that'll be incredible. But don't forget that I think Spider-Man opened at what, like 340 worldwide without China in an opening weekend. What did Endgame open with? Like 500 million or something like that? Does it have good rewatchability? Oh, hell yeah. I think it has great rewatchability. Like, I can't wait to watch it again. I'll probably go this weekend. But that's Spidey. Yeah, it's Spidey, but think about what that means. What's been around longer, Spider-Man or Dune? Pretty sure Dune's been around longer. Like, you can say, oh, that's Spidey, but how did Spidey become Spidey? You think Spidey's been around longer than Dune? When did Dune come out? In 65? Okay, so Spidey is 62. They're basically coming out around the same time. You can't tell me that 3 years in the 60s making the difference. The point is, they've been around an equal amount of time. One is one of the biggest IP, probably generating. I mean, how much revenue do you think Spider-Man, just Spider-Man, creates every year? And how much do you think Dune does? Do you see the difference? Dune's been around a long time. It's obviously had its place in science fiction, in storytelling, in the sort of zeitgeist. But it's never been that big. It's never been that big. $200 a day? I think it's a little bit more than that. I'm gonna say it's a little bit more than that. I would venture to say the Spider-Man character on his own generates at least $5 billion every year. And you know how I came up with that? Never heard of Dune until Dune 1. Yeah. I mean, I have, because I love David Lynch and I watched the original. I'd always heard Dune referenced in, I think they even referenced Dune in Empire of Dreams, right? When George Lucas is talking about the things that influenced him. And definitely in Warhammer. I mean, Warhammer copies Dune a lot. Like, it's kind of a meme in the Warhammer community that Warhammer is basically just Dune. And it kind of is. I mean, there's obviously a lot more that happens in the Warhammer world sort of after the Emperor, and you don't have the Golden Path, and you don't have like House Atreides, breeding out all of the flaws of humanity over trillions of years. But like in Dune, there's a robot uprising, and you can't have that. And so then they don't have AI anymore. They wage this big war with AI, and they only have like human robot like hybrids. Same thing in Warhammer, like the same thing. The Emperor initially creates this AI and it helps them to expand across the galaxy, and then the AI turns on them. So there's a lot of similarities between those two, 100%. So yeah, I like the movie for sure, though. What else? Let's talk just a little bit more about Dune. Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? Anything that you noticed that's like real cool? Bring it up, and then we'll get into the next subject. I can't wait for the Dune Awakening game. It looks fire. I haven't seen too much on it, man. I would play the shit out of that game, though. Does it take place on Arrakis mostly? Is that the deal? Takes place on Arrakis? Because, dude, what I'm excited for with the next movie, because that might be the last one they do. That'll probably be the last one that Denis does either way, right? I'm excited to get off Arrakis, actually. I'm excited to get into more juicy stuff. Get into actual galactic warfare. And I believe, and I'm not... again, I'm not super into like the lore, and I don't fully know everything that's going on with that, right? Hey, thanks, Fahad. I appreciate that, man. I'll touch on that in just a second. Let me finish this point. I believe one of the sort of foundational aspects of the Fremen and why Paul is able to conquer is they are absolutely incredible fighters, but they also have this religious belief that makes them fight harder than any other house in the Empire. The Fremen believe they're following Jesus, so they're going hard, and the Empire cannot. They don't have the ability to weather that storm. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's my understanding of it, is like a big part of what happens next is the Fremen fuck shit up. And can't wait. Can't wait. Can't wait for that one. That's going to be fantastic. So, yeah, hopefully they make that within the next 3 years or whatever, and that shit's going to be awesome. So I'm really excited for that. I think that'll be really cool. The Sisterhood did that to the Fremen and the others to bring out religious unity. Yeah. Well, my understanding is that's maybe what the show is going to be about, is like the Bene Gesserit, they go there a long time ago to Arrakis, and they plant the seeds of that belief system and of that whole Messiah thing. But you know what this is the one question that I had about it, and Mosmos, I'm wondering if you can answer this for me, because there's one thing I was confused about. It seemed like the one head lady that was with the Emperor and Florence Pugh Pugh, she was talking about the power of something or other being the greatest power in the universe. And it seemed like what she was talking about was like a male that had the voice. And it felt like, and this is, I want to watch the first one again. I want to watch the second one again, because it felt like what she was saying was that's part of the reason why she decided to destroy House Atreides, was because a male having the voice is the greatest power. It's like a power that's super fucking bad. Like, that's really not good. And yet they're also establishing false prophets. Like, they're establishing Austin Butler as a false prophet. I think they even view Paul as a false prophet. And what I'm confused about is, like, so do the Bene Gesserit themselves even accept that? Like, do they think the prophecy's total bullshit? Or do they think the prophecy's real and they're trying to use the prophecy while also trying to prevent the prophecy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that part was a little confusing to me. Yeah, Paul can reach into both the past and future. Paul is the prophet. They just want the prophet under their control. Yeah, but there's like an aspect of that gets a little fuzzy for me, because they were willing to prop up false prophets. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and then in the first movie, and I gotta watch this again. But in the first movie, there's like a line where she scolds Rebecca Ferguson for taking it upon herself to try to make the prophecy real, or something like that, right? So, like, I guess one of the things I'm kind of confused about is, like, so does Paul's mom actually believe Paul is the one, and that's why she has a male son? And that's like, do you see what I mean? Like, that part of it I'm a little confused about. So she had a male just for the House Atreides? So she gives a male heir to Leto? Is that the deal? Are they on a planet of the base? What base? What are you talking about? I just remember a line in the first movie where she said something about like something like, you just had to try to make the heir yourself or something. I'm going to watch it again and try to check it out. But I was like, damn, that's kind of intriguing, right? Because the Bene Gesserit are like a really interesting part of this whole thing in the lore. And I know a little bit about like Paul's kids and how eventually they have to like make a space within space-time that the God Emperor cannot have access to in order to like plot against him. So there's like some stuff that I'm like kind of curious about, like how does that happen? How does that happen? And then it's like, so is Paul having visions of the Golden Path? And his sister, she says, you're not prepared for what's coming. And so does the sister already know that Paul will not be able to walk the golden path? Do you know what I mean? Like, because he can't. It's his kid that ends up completing the golden path. So I'm just confused. Yeah, of all futures. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, like, and Adam was saying in chat, he's like, this is why Game of Thrones is easier. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Game of Thrones, as complicated as the Game of Thrones plot is, it's essentially like Old English history. What was it? The Battle of Roses or something? So there's actual historical things that it's based on. And I think that kind of helps for it to be more understandable. Dune is fucking weird, bro. Like, it's really weird. Yeah, I know. It's difficult to type. If you do call-ins, I'll call in. Well, thank you. I don't know if I'm going to do call-ins. I mean, maybe I'll hit you up later and just kind of get like a better explanation for it. Because, yeah, it's cool. Like, I really like this movie. I really like Dune, but I also just kind of don't see it becoming mass appeal and like very accessible. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about why I actually think Dune, even though Dune 2 is a masterpiece and I just gushed about it and I think it's top to bottom a 10 out of 10. Let's talk about why I still don't think it's going to be the next Star Wars, okay? And a lot of people were comparing Dune 2 to Empire Strikes Back, and that it's this huge, massive thing, one of the best movies ever made. I mean, Empire is like the gold standard of not only sequels, but a sequel that makes a singular movie into a franchise, you know, makes it into this huge, epic, big thing. And I think part of why people are so thirsty for this exact discussion is because Star Wars has become pretty hollowed out. And I know your mileage may vary on how you feel about that. Some people liked the Kenobi show. But a lot of people, even people that are less so engaged in the Star Wars fandom, kind of look back and look at Star Wars and consider it to be a very hollowed out, over-corporatized IP. It is sort of a zombie. It's not what it once was. And so I think there's a lot of people that are looking for the next Star Wars, the next big thing that's going to blow up and become massive, because the original Star Wars really wasn't designed to be that. It just kind of caught a headwind, had the perfect formula for the time, and exploded and became this awesome thing that people love. You look at the way people love Star Wars, man, it's crazy. You know, sometimes I dog on Star Wars fans because they're ridiculous, but that is born out of this real passion and this real connection for that world, the characters, the mythos, the vibe, all of that, right? And I do think modern audiences, and a lot of us here, are sort of thirsty for that. Like, we want that next big thing, right? We get excited when a new thing comes out, a new show, a new movie, a new franchise, and it has the promise and the potential of being that next big thing, of blowing up that way. And yeah, I just don't think Dune's going to do that. I think Dune will just be considered an incredible movie. I think if he can match what he did in the second one with the third one, it'll be considered a all-time great trilogy within the science fiction genre. But I don't see theme parks. I don't see spin-off shows, even though there is a spin-off show coming. I don't see a bunch of video games. I don't see Dune coming to Fortnite. You know what I mean? Like, and by the way, that's okay. Maybe we don't need any of that shit. Maybe that's not what Dune should be. But I kind of wanted to talk about this because I find it kind of interesting why Dune will not be that, right? And I think there's a couple of different things going on here. Number one, let's talk about the complexity and the accessibility of Dune. So this is a story that is super complex, and it has a lot of subtle things going on. and it's talking about empiricism, it's talking about religion, it's talking about all of these different things without really directly addressing them. It's sort of this nuanced like play almost that kind of toys with these different elements and themes. It's making a lot of different points. It's also leaving a lot up for interpretation. But I also just think it's not as accessible as something like a Star Wars or even Game of Thrones, which had more complex narrative structure than what you would see in Star Wars, but at its core is still characters, inciting incident, and resolving those conflicts. Dune is way weirder than that. It's way crazier than that. And I think this is actually a big reason as to why it's never been that. Even the David Lynch movie never really blew up like that. It was a big movie, but it's not like that ushered in a wave of all this kind of Dune love and all this merchandising of Dune. Even though there were some Dune action figures and things like that, it never really caught on. They never made another one, right? Unless I'm mistaken. So I think accessibility is a part of the problem. I think this is also why people didn't universally love the first movie. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter and social media even when I said I'm going to see Dune, or I'm excited about Dune, there's a lot of people like freaking the nerd executive, right, in our community that would just call it a snooze fest, that would say it's super boring, couldn't get through the first movie, and are not excited about the second movie. The problem is you can't do Dune correctly without that kind of a vibe. It requires a sort of weirdness, a sort of slow burn, a lot of nuance, a lot of atmosphere. The themes that are at play are as important as the characters, but they have to like linger. And from what I understand, the novel itself, especially the first novel, is one of the most complex, difficult novels to ever adapt. I believe that's why David Lynch wanted to do it in the first place, because he thought this is an impossible movie to adapt. And so I like that challenge as a filmmaker. And the one thing that I'm kind of feeling is like that Denis did it. He actually did make a perfect adaptation that takes an incredibly complex novel that's nuanced and adapt it to the silver screen. He succeeded. But by succeeding and being so true to what it is, it's just inaccessible because that is its nature, right? So I hope that kind of makes sense. I also think that cultural impact and timing are probably going to prevent Dune from being that hyped up thing. We talked about Star Wars and the way that it kind of entered into the pop culture zeitgeist at a time when the country, I'm talking about America, was just coming out of Vietnam. We had sort of an identity crisis. A lot of the movies that were very popular at that time in the late 60s and in the early to mid 70s were anti-heroes and sort of postmodernism. A lot of stuff like that was creeping into cinema. Star Wars kind of comes in and reestablishes this good versus evil, mystical, but very clear kind of a narrative fantasy. And I think it just hit people at the exact right time. And I think if you look around, there's really no shortage of shows or movies that attempt to do what Dune is doing. And what I mean is these very nuanced, kind of subtle conversations that are kind of dragged on. You look at Westworld, you look at Raised by Wolves, even The Boys to a degree. That kind of stuff is around, right? So Dune and Dune 2, it's not really new. It's not fresh, and it doesn't run counter to where the collective consciousness of moviegoers in the country is even at, right? So I think that it lacks that timing. There could be a way, maybe if things were a little different, where this would come in and feel fresh and everyone would gravitate towards it as the sort of beacon of how our feelings are shifting and how our thoughts about the world are shifting. And I just don't think Dune does that at all. I also think from a visual perspective, Dune is cool, right? It's cool sci-fi. I like it a lot. I think a lot of the designs and a lot of the stuff that's in there are very fun. But at the same time, I don't think it really separates itself. I don't think it's really all that different than a lot of sci-fi you've seen before. Now, that's a little bit unfair to Dune because Dune is the one that created all of that. Dune's the inspiration. But because Dune is the inspiration, you've seen 30, 40 years of all of that same kind of stuff, right? So I don't think it has, even from a design perspective, a newness. And Star Wars absolutely did. Game of Thrones absolutely did. It came in and did something visually different than you'd seen before. With Game of Thrones, you have high fantasy mixed with like borderline softcore porno, HBO like sexiness, right? That's a very unique kind of thing. With Star Wars, you had a lived in dirty space vibe, right? This wasn't the clean space of what you'd seen in like 2001 and other science fiction movies at the time. This was a lived in, gritty, visceral kind of a fantasy world. And it was new, it was fresh, it was interesting. Dune doesn't have any of that either. The other thing is merchandisability. You know, one of the sort of dark secrets about Star Wars, which isn't actually that much of a secret, I think we all kind of acknowledge this. Dune is not super merchandisable in the way that Star Wars is. Star Wars was kind of created with merchandise in mind, especially when you get to Empire and then you get into Return of the Jedi, right? Ewoks, big thing. A lot of fans kind of start to turn on George Lucas when it comes to the Ewoks because George was thinking merchandise. He was literally thinking merchandise first, and Star Wars has a history of that. It is now kind of ingrained into the brand of Star Wars that they do certain things like give C-3PO a red arm, change or blow up the Mandalorian ship and give him a hot rod version of an N1 Naboo Star Cruiser. These things in some ways are literally done for merchandising. Okay? So there's a sort of copacetic relationship between the content of Star Wars and its merchandisability. And ultimately, because Star Wars is for kids, you're able to target younger people with a lot of this merchandise stuff and kind of create a bond at an early age that just carries forward into life, right? With Game of Thrones, it's not the same thing, but it does capture people, I think, at a young adult place, and it has similar things, you know, whether it's the banners, right? So just as an example, within Game of Thrones, your house and the house words and the sigil, those are things that fans can associate with, attach themselves to, and then literally spend money on to represent, okay? And just as an example, like I'm sitting in a House Targaryen chair. You see what I mean? Like it's just more merchandisable, right? And so to me, I look at a thing like Dune and I'm like, man, it just doesn't have these elements that I think would be important for it to blow up and become an IP and franchisable like that, okay? But here's the other thing. Like, dude, maybe that's okay. And to be honest, maybe that's good, because I do think there's a part of Star Wars currently, especially under Disney, where it kind of feels bad because it feels more like a product than a story. It used to be more in balance, and now it just feels like, yeah, they're just doing stuff for money, and it sort of feels way too commercial and a little bit gross. And I think that vibe is existing out there for a lot of different fans. And so in some ways, Dune, by not being that, is almost like counter programming. And I think it could be even more beloved because of that. And I find that to be really interesting. You know, there's something there of, you know, the way audiences are just kind of rejecting commercialism and all these sort of things. And it feels a little bit more pure. You know what I mean? Like there's something that feels a little bit more pure about what is going on in these Dune movies. And I think there's an audience for it. I think the thing is that audience might just stop at watching the movies, which again, maybe that's okay. Like that doesn't have to be a problem. If you're a studio like Disney, it's potentially a problem because a lot of the IP that you're attracted to, that you purchase or try to create, is long tail in the way you can monetize it through the parks, merchandise, etc. Again, I don't think Dune is that. And maybe that's okay. But I'm not sure. Love to know what you think about that. I mean, what do you think? Do you disagree, or do you think that, like, yeah, that's all fair? Like, those are fair points. What do you think? What the hell's going on with this music? I got to figure that out, man. It's bugging me. It's bugging me. Hey, there it is. Do you have cue cards? No, but I mean, I wrote down some things. You know, I know maybe some of you guys think I just get on here and blabber. But no, I definitely had some points and wrote some stuff down. It's called making content. That's what we do here. You know, we make content. I mean, did you know that? Hello? The seriousness of Dune, I can appreciate for sure. I can appreciate that, 100%. Yeah. I think plenty of females will buy the Zendaya robot suit. Yeah, that's not I mean, that's not official merchandise, man. That is not connected to it at all. I disagree that it couldn't be a theme park. We could go to Caladan. Caladan seems way nicer than Arrakis, that's for sure. You know, my favorite kind of like meme or like funny thing about the Zendaya suit was all the comments about like, so when she farts, do those cheeks just fog up or what? I thought that shit was hilarious. And I too was wondering the same thing. Fair enough. Okay, also, guys, I'm shutting down the gambling. That's enough gambling for today. Sorry, you're done. You're done. I'm cutting you off. Talk about Superman? We're going to talk about Superman. It's on the list. It's on the thumbnail. We're going to talk about it. Everyone knows that she doesn't fart. Oh, really? Because she kind of like makes the fart face like a lot in her movies. I just assumed she was like a big time farter. Now, when I think about fart face, I think Zendaya. You know what else about Zendaya? I'll tell you this. Now you got me on one. Now you got me on one. You know what else about Zendaya? Watch the trailer with her in that tennis movie, right? I'm sure you've seen the trailer. There's like a tennis movie where she's some tennis star that ends up, I don't know, getting two tennis up-and-coming white boy stars to be her pawns in some weird game or whatever, right? So we're watching that trailer. I'm just sitting there, and all I could think of was, this is the lengths you have to go to make tennis interesting. Holy shit. I cannot believe people watch tennis. I cannot believe it. And I was like, this is what you've got to do to make tennis interesting. Wow. What a sport. What a sport. Shots fired. I love tennis. Bro, there is no way. There is no way. There is no way. I'm a tennis goat? Bro, what? Y'all be playing tennis? I can't believe people play Warhammer. Oh, okay, so do we have to dedicate the next hour to Warhammer? I can explain it. Fuck it, we were fighting? Oh my God. There is no way there's this many people. This is how I know y'all are insincere. This is how I know. And fucking Trev over here like, did you have cue cards for that? Yeah, I wrote a goddamn script. I get up here every day and I make fucking content. I had a point. I had things I wanted to say. So yeah, I put it on a goddamn. Did you put a fucking cue card? Fuck you, Trev. And you know what else? You know what else? I can tell. I did this whole fucking thing and then I'm like, what do you guys think? Do you agree? And you're all just literally like, I disagree. I disagree. But now that you've told me you like tennis, I understand what's really happening. You're insincere, triggering, poke the bear, butthole motherfuckers. You don't play tennis. You don't disagree, but you do love to trigger Papa Josh. So I get it. And now that we're on the same page, I think we can all do a little kumbaya. Come here. Come here. Come here. Bring it in. Bring it in. It's okay. Bring it in. Hey, come here. A little closer. Get a little closer. Hey, bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it a little closer. Bring it in. You go a little closer. How was it? How was it? How was it? You did that. Tennis over Warhammer. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Every day they will test you. Every day. My God. My God. Anyway. Why did that just get so crazy about tennis? Because tennis is like the most fucking boring thing that I can think of. Like, tennis is like, you want to take a nap? You know what? No wonder some of you guys like Andor. How many of you guys... I need to do a study. I need to do a study on the people that like Andor and people that like tennis. I think we have just discovered the secret actual link. Exactly, Adam. Exactly. Anyways, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about something else? And we never do this. We never do this. Okay? But we've got to make it about me for just a second. Okay? Let me see something here. Let me see something. You know, usually pretty chill. You know, we do whatever you guys want to do, etc., blah, blah, blah. Wait, what? The video failed? The update? What? Hang on. Something went wrong. Oh no, upload failed. What the fuck? Why? Let me check this. Preview right here. What the fuck? Something went wrong while loading this page. Please try again. God damn it. Please verify you are human. What is happening here? It's all the tennis talk. You guys have ruined the Kickstarter. You ruined it. Hey, the video's there. It's a little silly, but you know what? I think we should leave it. This is the... Do you guys think this is too silly or perfect? Let me just pull this up. That is the opening image of the video for the second Unity Kickstarter. Is that too crazy or is that perfect? I'll try to recreate it. Perfect? Huge? Should we launch this fucking thing? Should we launch this fucking thing? The hell's this? Just launch the goddamn thing. How do you launch a Kickstarter? Hang on. Let me figure this out. And I stay determined. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. The project is live. Okay, let me get a link. Let me get a link. Hang on. Somebody find out. Does that take you to the Kickstarter? Kendall, damn, bro. You are triggered. You are triggered about tennis. Tennis is grunting and boredom. Thank you, baby bird. Hell yeah. Okay, so that takes you to it. Okay, cool. So let me explain what's going on here. Cool moment for the Unity Kickstarter. So Second Chance Kickstarter. Pause that. Let's watch this video. Let's see what this guy has to say. For Unity. And I like this guy. Why I'm so excited about this campaign is that the book is even more valuable than it originally was intended to be. In the original Kickstarter, you may have noticed that we referred to the book as 100+ pages, but we've actually made the first chapter of the 5 chapters of the graphic novel, and it ballooned up to 45 pages. What? Holy shit. What the fuck? So what that means 45 pages. The book is now going to be 150+ pages. But luckily, I actually accounted for this when coming up with the price point in the original Kickstarter. So basically now you're getting 50% more Unity story at no additional cost. Thus, the book is even more valuable at that $30 price point. Yes! Yeah, that's crazy. You're getting 50% more Unity for no additional cost. God damn, that's a good deal. And because we completed that first chapter and we're well into chapter number 2, I can tell you, I think Unity has surpassed even my expectations. It is a freaking awesome comic book with incredible characters and a really intriguing story. And if you don't believe me, we actually have something in this Kickstarter that will allow you to try it before you buy it. What? For as little as $1. There is a tier on the Kickstarter called Unity Chapter 1 Early Bird Special. It costs $1, but it ends after the first 7 days of the Kickstarter. So if you back us for $1 using that tier on Kickstarter within the first 7 days, I will send you the first 45 pages of Unity digitally immediately. And okay, I want to just explain this too. Let me explain it. If you go to the Kickstarter for the first 7 days, you go to the Kickstarter, like let's say you're curious. You're like, okay, look, Josh talked a lot about Unity. I want to check Unity out. Back the campaign at the early bird tier for $1. I will send you the first chapter, okay? You can read the first chapter. Technically, you don't like it, you can cancel your pledge. Boom, no problem. But I think you will like that so much that you will want to get a copy of the book. So you'll want to get a copy of the book. Maybe you'll want to get some swag and stuff like that. So if you've ever at all been curious about Unity, go back the campaign, do it in the first week for $1, get the 45 page, and then boom. You're either going to like it and you're going to want to read more, or you're not going to like it and you're going to be, kind of done with it or whatever. And that's fine too. Let me get the link into the chat. Yes, technically you can read it and then you can cancel your pledge if you absolutely hate it. There should be a way to pin this, right? You'll like it. In fact, I think you will like the first 45 pages of Unity so much that you will actually up your pledge and you will get an actual copy of the book pre-ordered via this Kickstarter. This campaign is basically for people that were maybe on the fence when the original Kickstarter was out, or people that wanted to grab a copy but just didn't for whatever reason. So you have another another chance to get in on Unity at the ground floor. You can try it out for $1, and if you like it, you can reserve your actual copy of the full graphic novel. You can get some t-shirts, you can get some swag. I'm going to try to add some cool items to this Kickstarter before the 30 days is through as well. So if you've already backed the first Kickstarter, there should be some cool stuff coming to this one for you also. And I just want to say a sincere thank you to everybody that backed the original Kickstarter and that everybody that's going to back this one. You guys are literally helping create this thing, helping bring this vision, this... Oh, hell yeah. So, I wish there was a better link for it. I should be able to get... Let me see here. If I get a Twitter link for it. Okay, that'll work there. Okay. So let me just copy that. And I want to post about this on Twitter, and I would appreciate if you guys went over and gave the tweet some love. Let me make sure I'm not going to blow out your eardrums there. Get that going on there. Going on there. And I'll link the tweet in that. I would love it if you guys would help me out and push it. It's honestly like a really cool thing to be able to get people that are curious about the book at all the opportunity to read the first 45 pages for just $1 is awesome. And I'm grateful to be able to do that. And again, I think once people check it out, they're going to be like, damn, that shit is hype. So if you didn't get in on the first Kickstarter, like there were some people that got in and then something happened with their credit card or, you know, their order got canceled or whatever, definitely get in on it. Maybe you wanted to get in on the original Kickstarter, but you were kind of on the fence. You're like, I don't know about it. Dude, go pick up the first chapter, read it. If you like it, order the book. No big deal. So let me do a thing here. So I'm just going to post that video on the tubes. The second chance Kickstarter for Unity is here. You can also get a digital copy of the first 25-page chapter to try it before you buy it. For $1 freaking $1. Let me put that there. Herbity burbity sherbity. Bubbity hubbity shubbity. Okay, cool. I gotta wait for that video to process, but that should be good there. What is going on with the music? Why is this happening? For real. What the fuck? I just do not understand, man. What the fuck? So we're not playing the music at all. Oh, okay. I figured it out. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, guys. I figured it out. So there you go. Second Chance Unity Kickstarter. It's going to go for 30 days. It's just for people that haven't got a chance to get in on the book. A lot of you guys were really curious. And some of you guys were signed up for the first one and then you didn't, like your payment didn't go through or whatever. So would definitely appreciate the support. If you're interested, go check the book out. Vito says, question, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Yeah. Wait, somebody said it's not giving them the option to buy? Really? That's not good. That's not good. See, we got one person that did it. So there you go. I set the goal at 500. Yeah, it seems like a couple of people are getting in here. I set the goal at 500 because I was like, well, we don't really, it's not like we need to hit a certain mark with this. I just felt like 500 was like a reasonable number to hit. And within 30 days, we should get like at least 10 orders that'll do that. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'd love to have a lot more orders, and I've got a lot of promotion to do during the 30 days to get the word out there for people. But I think the coolest thing for me is like, look, I think the first chapter is awesome, and you can literally try it for $1, and I think that's dope. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. Mine keeps decking too. What does that mean? Yeah, only $500 goal. Yeah, because we already funded the book with the first Kickstarter. This is just like picking up additional orders as we are just getting ready. Like, basically, this is just for people that were like, yeah, no, I wish I would have gotten on that one. And also, too, like, I think it's a better sell now. I mean, technically, $30 for like a 100-page graphic novel is pretty steep. Like, that's a little crazy. But now with 150 pages, at least, it's going to be good. May sound dumb, but I'm waiting for the physical copy to read it all. No, it doesn't sound dumb. I've had a couple people say that. In fact, I was actually curious because I think Trinity's one of those people too. So it's not working for some people? We're in the second set on match point, bro. I don't know what that means. It won't let you buy? I got the $10 option before. So what did I get? I forgot. You got the first chapter, the digital preview. Here's what's cool though. So I did a $10 digital tier for the second chance Kickstarter as well. And that comes with chapter 1 and chapter 2. So if you get the digital preview tier in the second Kickstarter, you'll get chapter 2 when it's done as well. Haven't read chapter 1 either. Yeah, you're waiting for the physical. Trinity says definitely more of a physical reader. Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that. Reason is because I've loved everything I've seen so far, so I kind of want to just read the whole thing binge style. Oh, dude, I totally get that. You know, the one thing that a lot of people said after they read the first one was like, so there's two things. Number one, they were like, holy shit, 45 pages just flew by. And it's true. It does read fast. There's a lot going on, but you get through it quickly. And you're like, oh shit, that was 45 pages. Number two, it leaves on a kind of a big cliffhanger. And that's by design, but it is a little frustrating if you want to know what the fuck the other thing is. So, yeah. Have you mentioned, sorry if you've already mentioned, but have you said the release date for physical or waiting to finish more? So the, what's the word for it? The date is August. That's when the expected shipping happens, is this August. And we should be able to hit that. It depends on the team. Like, I was a little bit frustrated with how slowly we got into chapter 2, but now we're kind of flying. If we can keep this pace up, we will absolutely hit August. I originally wanted it to come out before August, but whatever. You know, we got to live with what we got to live with. So August is the release date. But here's the thing. If you don't get it on Kickstarter, you're not going to get it in August. You won't get it until like late this year or early next year. Do you know what I mean? What I mean is we take care of the Kickstarter people first, then we'll figure out a way to like make it accessible in print to everybody else, which could go through a publisher, could be print on demand. Not really sure. That's something we're gonna figure out later. But the thing that I am sure about is if you purchase the book on Kickstarter, you will be the first people to get the book. Right? So if you do the $50 tier, you get the physical 2, right? Yeah. So the $50 tier, and I'll be clear about this, the $50 tier is for a special edition version of the book. That version of the book is, I can't even predict how big it's going to be, but it's probably going to be like 200 pages at least. Another thing is that special edition version of the book is I'm only doing that through Kickstarter. Like, we're not going to publish a version of that outside of Kickstarter. What I mean is, the only way to get it is through these Kickstarters, basically. Now, in the first campaign, I actually messed up, and I put in there that if you got a collector's or a special edition version of the book, you also got one of the regular floppies. That is not in the second Kickstarter. If you had it on the first Kickstarter, consider yourself to be one lucky fucking duck, because I will probably lose money on that. But I'm going to honor it. I'm going to give you guys both the special edition version and a floppy. But that is not in the second Kickstarter, because it was a mistake. So I decided I still want to leave it at 50, because now it's just going to be exclusive to the Kickstarter. So it's a rare version of the book. And it's very girthy. But you will not be getting a floppy as well. Mm-hmm. When do we get our Unity hoodies, bro? The Unity hoodies will ship with everything else. Oh, and here's actually, let me finish Ross's question and then let me explain something else. The hoodies and everything you get within the first Kickstarter and the second Kickstarter will ship together. And what that means is I will be refunding you some shipping. If you pay for shipping on both campaigns, I will bundle them. I will figure out what the shipping is, and I will issue a refund on whatever part of the shipping you paid for twice. You won't have to do it twice. But no, the collector and everything comes together. Because here's the thing, Ross. Like, this is my thinking on this. Bro, I don't even want to show you guys the hoodie. Because if I show you the hoodie now, but it's not shipping until August, it feels bad. You're going to feel bad. You're going to be like, no, like, I want that shit now. And I can't do that. I will lose my ass on shipping if I ship things out individually. We need to bundle it. Do you know what I mean? So I know it kind of sucks. But yeah, none of that. I'm not even going to be showing you guys any of that stuff until we're very close. You know what I mean? So that's the one thing. The other thing is, if you pay for shipping on both campaigns and you've got physical items, I will put them together and I'll refund you some shipping. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about refunding me any. Cross his arms. Not right. Okay. I need your help. I need your help, chat. Okay? Because I'm about to drop this tweet and I need you to like it. I need you to retweet it. I need you to call your grandma and tell her to do the same thing. Boom. There it is. And let me get the link to you. That's the tweet. That's the tweet. I need you to... Hope the hoodies are nice quality. The hoodies for the collectors are going to be phenomenal. The hoodies for the collectors are going to be so nice that I don't think you're going to wear them. I'm not going to wear mine. I'm going to frame mine. Like, they're very nice. Back. I had to avoid them Dune spoilers. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate it. If I purchase the $1, can I upgrade to the 50 before it ends? Absolutely. That's the whole point. The whole point is you get in on $1 and you're like, okay, I don't really know how all this works. I'm coming into Kickstarter. You figured it out. You're there. You've backed the project for $1. If you like the book, it should be very easy for you to adjust your pledge. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And also, too, just give me a little bit of time here. Be a little bit patient. After the stream, I will go in and every single person that backed at $1, I'm going to send you the book. Does collector tier get digital as well? Yes. Yes. But there's only a collector tier for the first book. Sorry. There is only a collector tier for the first Kickstarter. We might do another collector tier eventually, but for now, there is not another one. So, okay, so should we talk a little Superman? Should we talk a little Supersmans? Huh? Oh, thanks, Trin. Appreciate you, bro. Okay. Let's talk about Superman. You know, Superman also thinks tennis is pretty boring. Just gonna put that out there. Just gonna. Is the digital preview tier messed up? No. What? Wait. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Is it messed up? Superman is a real good tennis player. I mean, find me something that Superman's not good at, Trev. You know what I mean? You know what else? You know what else, Trev? If you want to know the next thing? If Superman was going to do a live stream and make a point about a movie that just came out, he would probably write a couple of things down. You got cue cards or something like that? Bam! Fucking Trev. Okay. Let's talk about Superman. Just the other day, there was an image of the Superman logo that leaked from the script reading, okay? And everybody was like, look, it's the new Superman logo. And I was like, nah, I don't know about all that. Yeah, apparently it is real because James Gunn himself, not only did he share an image of the new Superman logo, but he also talked about changing the title of the Superman movie. Let me see if I can find this freaking post here. I think he said something to the effect of, when I first started writing Superman Legacy, I called it Legacy, but by the time it was done, it was clear that the movie was just called Superman. And let's pull this up. Let's look at the logo here. This is the official logo revealed, I believe, on James Gunn's Instagram account. And that's the S logo. It does appear to be very similar to the Kingdom Come Superman logo. And Gunn was on either Twitter or some social media talking about this. And he said the inspiration for the logo and the suit came from Alex Ross. I believe he's talking about Kingdom Come and sort of trying to evoke those vibes with Superman. So you got kind of two things going on here. Number one, you've got the change of the name from Superman Legacy to Superman. Number two, you have this new logo, which does kind of evoke the Kingdom Come Alex Ross type vibe. So first question to you all, what do you think? What do you think about the Superman logo? And what do you think about the change in title from Superman Legacy to just Superman? Let me know, chat. What do you think? Kickstarter doesn't work for me. I can't even back at the $1. Why is that a thing? I don't know why that's a thing, man. Are other people still having problems with that? Let me know in chat. I will look at it. It's obviously working for some people. It's not working for others. I will get into all of that. Okay, but let's talk Superman. Okay, we should go to the polls on this. I'm real curious. Real curious. How do you feel about the new Superman logo? And we'll go love it, like it, meh, and hate it, and I hate James Gunn. No, we'll just put hate it. We'll just put hate it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Okay, so go ahead and vote in the poll. Okay, so there's some stuff I like. There's some stuff I don't like. Okay. I like the idea of doing a Kingdom Come kind of logo. That logo is cool. Anytime you mention Alex Ross, it's going to do it for me. I think that's cool. So I like that, right? It is a little weird, though, that he's using the Kingdom Come Superman logo for what is essentially a younger Superman, right? I mean, maybe you guys don't remember this, but for whatever reason, it's burned into my brain. Around the time of when James Gunn fired Henry Cavill, he had told fans on social media that the reason he fired Henry Cavill is because he wanted to do a younger Superman story. Henry Cavill was just simply too old for what James Gunn wanted to do with the Superman character. Okay, so it is a little weird to do Kingdom Come, which was a much older Superman, and have that for your new, younger Superman. It's weird. Maybe what he's doing is setting something up so that he can maybe visit Kingdom Come in the way future with this same logo, and he's trying to do something like that. There was a lot of speculation when Gunn was first building this stuff behind the scenes, particularly because of what The Rock said. Rock came out and basically said, hey, it's bad news, fam. Not going to be Black Adam for this new thing, but I have talked to Gunn about potentially coming back via the multiverse for something later, right? I think even with Cavill, Gunn had said something to the effect of we could potentially see us working with him later on, but for now, no. So maybe this is very thoughtful, and it's something that will link to a future Superman story and, building out a multiversal thing. Maybe it's just a cool logo. He liked it and wanted to do it. I think the texture is, I don't love it, I'll be honest. It is just kind of like a football or like a basketball kind of thing. And of course, I'm a little bit partial, but a lot of others seem to be as well. You see a lot of posts on social media talking about the Man of Steel. And to me, the Man of Steel and the sort of intricacies of that design and the way that it's put together is really cool, really goated. And so I like it just way more, Gunn's Superman suit, the texture does look a lot like a football or like a basketball. Not to say that it won't look great when we actually see the full thing, but from what we've seen so far, I would prefer Cavill's. It also seems, and I wonder if this is like intentional or what, but doesn't it kind of seem like it's muted a little bit? Like the colors don't seem to pop. They're not like as bright as at least I would expect for a Superman logo. I'm wondering if you guys feel that way either. But when you look online here, when you look in okay, so this is kind of interesting. Any reason why the old title, by the way, new logo is awesome. It felt like the right name, and when I brought it up, everyone agreed, and there really hasn't been a movie titled Superman since 1979. The movie was solely promoted as Superman the Movie. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. So, yeah, you see a lot of discussion about it. Here's a kind of interesting one. You got the older one here, the Cavill one. Is this Brandon Routh? I'm not really sure. And then the new Gunn one. And a lot of the conversation online, as you would expect, is kind of comparing Cavill to, Gunn's thing. I see a lot of different posts about that. And that comparison is just going to be there, right? And I think, to be honest with you, bias aside, that is a little bit of Gunn's doing. By engaging the way he did with the Henry Cavill situation, he caused a lot of fans of Henry Cavill Superman to be on edge. Maybe they would have always been, but he certainly didn't help. And he created like a very contentious sort of separation between people that really liked Henry Cavill as Superman and people that really like, or that are open rather to a new Superman. So you see a lot of that kind of conversation online. Like, you guys can see it for yourself. Just type in Superman and just look at all the different posts and all the different things that people are saying. People are definitely divided. What the fuck? People are definitely divided on it. But, you know, for me, I'm cool with it. You know, it doesn't make or break it. We need to see the full suit before we can make like a real judgment call on it. So, yeah, I'd say I would even go as far as to say that I like it. You know what I mean? Don't love it, but don't hate it. I'm hoping, like, one thing I'll say that I am kind of concerned about is I want the suit to pop. And if you look at a lot of Gunn's movies, especially his superhero movies, the Guardians stuff and then Suicide Squad, he does tend to mute the colors and kind of do this thing where it's a little bit more like gritty and real and like realistic, you know? So I definitely don't want that to be what the suit is. Like, if we pull the suit fully back and we're just like, man, like, you're trying to make it seem like it would work in the real world. Like, I hate that idea. That whole thing of like, oh, well, we need it to like be believable, or we need it to like feel like it would actually exist in the real world. And it's like, ugh, I don't know about that shit, man. So yeah. There were rainbow bright costumes in Volume 3. Yeah, for the guards. I'm talking about the superheroes. The Guardians themselves are wearing like that muted blue and red. And I like that design. Fuck, I forget the guy that wrote the Guardians back then, but it's like a very specific time period in their history. And I like it, but it's muted. You know, it's almost feels like it's from like the original Captain America movie. Like, it just kind of like muted. That's the best way I can explain it. It's just muted. For some reason, The Rocketeer is popping into my mind. You guys know that movie with the guy that's the superhero? He wears the weird mask and he's got the rockets on him. Yeah, kind of feels like that. So, yeah, that's kind of my feelings on it. It's like, I like it. Need to see more. Definitely a lot of fans divided on it. As far as the title itself, cool. You know, call it Superman. I'm okay with that. Lot riding on this movie for James Gunn. So I guess we'll see what else he's got to say. But yeah, I'd say so far doing a better job now that they're actually making the movie than they did like over a year ago, when he's kind of juggling the idea of like the reboot while there's still stuff coming out, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, let's look at the poll. Let's see what you guys say. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So you've got 70% of people that love it. 43% of people like it. 36 on meh? Wow, I didn't really expect that. And then 3% of people hate it. So you've got basically 40% of people are in the negative side of this poll. I actually didn't expect that. I thought a lot more people would be down. I wonder what why are you guys kind of not feeling it? Like, what's the issue? Why are you guys not liking it? Let's go. Unity backed. Appreciate you, man. Hell yeah. 36% are Marvel fanboys. Just admit it. Oh my God, we're doing that thing, are we? I'm a Marvel fanboy, and I really don't like James Gunn, and I voted like it. So there you go. Meh is like take it or leave it, not hate it. Yeah, no, that's why there are two different things on the poll, Trev. And if you don't think somebody voting meh is a negative sign, then I don't know, bro. I don't know what you guys are doing up in Canada. But it would be positive if you liked it or loved it. If you vote meh, it's like saying mid, which is essentially saying bad. I can help you. I can help you understand the lingo. I can help you, old man. Sheesh. It doesn't look like his mom made it. That's true. It does look like his human mom on Earth made it. That's true. Do you see what I just did there? Mid is not good. No, mid is not good. Dig anything Alex Ross related, so I'm biased. Yeah. Mid isn't really bad. Mid is not bad, not good. It's okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. We got a bunch of boomers in chat trying to tell me what mid means. Holy shit. Okay, we're gonna call it there at the end of the day with this thing. I like it. I like it. And I'm still rooting for James Gunn to make a great Superman movie because I love the Superman character. End scene. Boom. There you go. We are telling you, Gramps. Don't you raise your voice at me. All right. These fucking music. Why does this shit just keep happening? I swear to God. I swear to God, bro. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. Okay. Now, are people still having trouble on the Kickstarter? Is it some? I think it's something you guys did. Like, okay. Never mind. Fuck it. Look, if you're having trouble, just hit me up. I'll try to work with you on it. But yeah, it should be functioning. A lot of people are able to do it. Yeah, Kickstarter was working fine for me. Hell yeah. There was 10 plus people saying it wasn't working. Is that true? Night Me, Josh? The K-Man. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. My card is getting declined and I have money. What the fuck? I don't know what that's about, man. Are you sure you didn't type something wrong on the card when you put it in? Night Me too, Josh. Nevin, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Does the Kickstarter not accept Aussie cards? I mean, I think it should. I don't see why it wouldn't. Your validation thing probably isn't right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just look, I don't know. Maybe it's something on the Kickstarter end. I'll look into it. Tried 3 different cards. I never got knighted. Cole Maynard, you never got knighted? Get out of town. Cole, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. And also, I got your thing back there, man. It's the Kickstarter site on mobile. Yeah, so here's what I'll think. Here's what I'm going to say. Yeah, maybe it's something from the last one. I was going to say that. If on Kickstarter, you backed a project before, and then it went to draw your money, and it couldn't draw your money, that could be the issue. You see what I mean? So maybe Kickstarter's like, yeah, this person did bad. And so now we're going to not do things. I don't know, bro. Jesus. I'm trying to figure it out too. I tried 2 debits and a credit card. All have more than $65. Yeah, I don't know. I will see what I can do. I never got knighted. Yes, you did, Jar Jar Blinks. Now everybody's going to be in here saying that they didn't get knighted. Kickstarter's working very good, y'all. Almost 50% backed. Hell yeah. I never got knighted. You see what I mean? Now everybody's saying it. Yeah. Never got. Exactly. Yeah, here we go. Never got knighted. Never got knighted. I never got it. Yeah, no, I bet you didn't. For real, though. A lot of us, day ones weren't knighted. God damn it. Freaking Trev. Oh my gosh, I never got knighted. How about this? Everyone that is a Nerd Venger, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Does that work? Is that okay? Just pooping in to send my 4-month chat. Can't wait to see Dune tomorrow since I love the first one. You're the GOAT, Josh. Nerdvengers for life. Appreciate you, bro. And I know you didn't say pooping in. You were popping in. Appreciate you. Okay. Should we? Not enough? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Okay. I was going to do something. Okay. How do I find the... There's a way to find all of the Twitch members because I want to do the drawing for the GameStop gift cards. I've done this before. I just don't remember where it's at. It's in... I think it's in the channel dashboard. It's either in community or monetization. Subscription names. Overview. Subscriptions. Here we go. Export the data. Okay, I'll wait on that. Here's what we'll do. Let's get through the Q&A, and then we're going to do the drawings for the GameStop gift card. If you are not a member yet, you can become a member on YouTube right now and on Twitch. You can do the Twitch thing for free if you got the Bezos bucks. I'll wait to see if there's any last-minute members, and then we'll add all the names together, and then we'll do the drawing for the 2 GameStop gift cards. Okay? Okay. Is there anything else we want to go over before we get into Q&A? Is there anything else going on? Suing video for Madam Web. We've already been in here for 2 hours. I feel like that's a long video, isn't it? Isn't it? I think that video is like 26 minutes, isn't it? Yeah, it's 28 minutes. Nah, man, can't do it today. Sorry. Okay. I do enjoy tennis. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's get into the Q&As here. Rosie first in today with a buck. No message. Appreciate it. Moreno's Goat. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Space Trick Serial TM says, Josh, I need whatever you're blinking because the Green Goblin is an S tier villain. He's the Marvel Universe's Joker. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's go to the polls. I just want to know. Is Green Goblin S tier Marvel villain? Let's see what you guys. I just want to see. I just want to see. Happy Hogan is a sim says, the appeal for Dune is that it isn't Star Wars. No. Yeah, I think so. I think that's definitely a part of it. Star Wars Sith says, hello there, beautiful. Oh, shit. What's up, baby? How you doing? Nolan says, make my Friday at work go faster, please, and take my money. Okay, I will. Mr. JB with 5 gifted memberships. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, the llama got one. Seconds from Disaster says, what do you think about Halo Season 2? Oh, yeah, I talked about this. I'm not really feeling it, bro. I'm not really feeling it. Big Stevie W. Appreciate you, man. It's good to see you. Says, I keep losing, so the gambling is broken. Is it, though? Is it broken? Or is it operating exactly the way it's intended to? Good to see you, Stevie. Hope you're doing well, bro. John says, a goblin is S tier, Josh. Cope. Much love. Stick with the 3 Ps. Privacy, pussy, and pasta. What? What now? Okay, Sajid says, don't watch the Halo show, Josh. Single fight scene in the beginning of season 2 absolutely tricked everyone. It's all more of the same nonsense. See? Sajid's watching out for me. You guys won't, but Sajid's watching out for me. Jar Jar Blinks, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venge now. Star Wars Oddball with a $10 holla. Appreciate that, man. Very generous. Says, what's up, Josh? Heading to Emerald City Comic-Con Saturday. Going to meet Gimli, John Rice Davies. Halo show sucks. People lying to themselves. Live action's Avatar is just as disrespectful. But Unity hype. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, you got an incredible amount of mileage out of that super chat. Holy shit. Appreciate you, man. Zach says, happy Friday, Nerd Vengers. Can't wait to see Dune 2. Bro, it's so good. You're going to love it. James Goes Fishing with a $10 holla says, thanks for the hookup. Hey, I appreciate it, man. And you're welcome. I don't know what the hookup was, but yeah, you're welcome. John White, welcome back, brother. Griff says, just grabbed some gummies for a 1:30 showing. Nerd Ventures for life. Now that sounds like a good time. That sounds like a good time. And I will say, I would also do that. That seems like a good time. Rosie says, Shogun equal peak Game of Thrones vibes. Yeah, I agree. How many of y'all watched Shogun? Just curious. How many of you guys watched that show? Put a 1 into the chat if you've seen Shogun so far. I was super impressed. I had never watched the old show. I'd never read the book. But, you know, heard a lot of stuff about this one. A lot of people were like, yeah, it's very Game of Thronesy. And after the first episode, I was like, yeah, I totally get it. Like, the reason the show is so intriguing is because you have all this political gaming going on. And the characters are also like really specific and really interesting. So you've got like the different lords, you've got the like lost, white boy that's over there kind of trying to figure out their culture. You've got there was like that one weird guy in the first episode that liked to listen to the dude get boiled alive, and then he was sort of like a voyeur with the prostitute and stuff, and it's just like, wow, like what the fuck's going on with that guy? So there's like a lot of really interesting stuff going on. The politics of the Japanese culture, very interesting. And then when you bring in the Catholics and the Protestants and like that whole thing, I was like, damn, you got a recipe for some really interesting television, man. So, yeah, I thought it was really cool. It's definitely dark, there's definitely some elements that are like, ooh, but, yeah, I really like Shogun so far. C-Dub says, if anyone is like me, when they saw Austin Butler's character, I thought, oh my God, this is what Christian Bale's Gore the God Butcher was supposed to be. Ooh, that's a good point. Kind of feels bad, but that's a good point. Yeah. Damn. Jamro says, gotta try Helldivers 2, finishing up Phantom Liberty. I've never seen a game turn it around like Cyberpunk. That's actually a good point. It's about time Dune was done right. Yeah, Dune's great. If you're right about Cyberpunk. Like, it's crazy that Cyberpunk started off so bad, which, by the way, like, I kind of avoided all that shit. I had a really good PC, and I, like, at launch, was really enjoying Cyberpunk. Like, it was dope. So I missed all that, but it's better now, and I have friends that have kind of come back to the game. So yeah, it is crazy to see them actually turn around. Helldivers 2, so fun, man. I'm having so much fun with Helldivers 2. Fahad says, Josh, keep up the amazing work, bro. Do you think we will also get an Alex Ross style Justice League? This really is the age of DC. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, look, as much as I obviously have like my issues with Gunn, I'm still hopeful that this DCU is great. Like, DC has not had, like, I love DC, man. I've read a ton of DC stories. I love those characters. I love the mythos. Superman, the Lanterns, freaking Oa, the Source Wall, the emotional spectrum. There's a lot of juice. Like, DC has a lot of juice. So if they nail it and they get it done right, that would be great. As far as Alex Ross designs for the rest of the Justice League, I say, why the fuck not? Because Alex Ross is incredible. By the way, one of my favorite smaller YouTube channels, Cartoonist Kayfabe. Great channel. They recently did an interview with Alex Ross. I found it to be incredible. Very knowledgeable. Really interesting hearing about Alex and his background, his mother, his work in the industry, how he started painting. Really interesting stuff. So go check that out on the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel if you've never watched an interview with Alex Ross. Fantastic stuff. He also talks a lot about Fantastic Four Full Circle, which was a kind of like a giant size one-shot book that he recently made. Very cool. So if you're a fan of that book, definitely recommend checking that out. It's really interesting stuff. Thank you, Fahad. I appreciate that, brother. $20. Very generous. Kaylin says, let's talk about the underwhelming Superman reveal. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Kaylin coming in hot. Hey, Kaylin, you still in here? Hey, man. Kaylin, you still in here? Are you a Snyder fan, bro? Just asking. Just want to know. Donnie Snook says, Halo had so much potential, like Campaign was like a movie itself. They had a slam dunk if they just followed the source material. Absolutely. Especially Halo 2. Halo 2 is one of the best video games I've ever played. The story was so fucking cool. The way you go between the Arbiter and Master Chief. Oh, so good. So why didn't they just do it? I don't know. Rosie says badminton over tennis. I agree. And I'd rather watch badminton. I cannot believe you guys had such a strong reaction about the tennis. I legitimately think tennis is one of the most boring things ever. You know? I was shocked at how many of you guys liked it. Okay, Kyber Smith says, I fucking love you, Josh. Hey, appreciate you, man. Thanks for the love. Nevin, welcome to the Nerd Vengers. You are a Nerd Venger now. Philip Hatch says, not going to lie, the stuff Theory's been doing with his Sabres company is pretty legit. Yeah, I've seen some of it like on Instagram and whatnot. I mean, it seems like he's definitely, you know, getting it out there. I know he's put like some small, lower price point stuff out as well, which I think is smart. So it's cool to see that like actually take form. You know, when he was like working on the first one, I talked with him a lot about that first design, and I know he put a lot into that. But yeah, from what I've seen, it looks like he's actually, you know, kind of taking it to another level and handling it well. So that's dope. That is dope. Kendall says, tennis YouTube vids are crushing. Like soul crushing? You finally crossed the line. Out of these 5 years plus of controversy, I think I'm going to need to step away for a while. Holy shit! I didn't know it was like that with the tennis, Kendo. I'm sorry. Kendo. Lord Veed says, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Should I ask the AI that question? Let's ask AI that question. What happens? God damn it. When an unstoppable object meets an unmovable object. Let's see. God damn it. That's a lot of words to just say that it's a paradox. Holy shit. Thus, the question is more a useful tool for stimulating thought and discussion about the nature of force, motion, and the theoretical limits of physical laws, rather than something that can be resolved with a straightforward answer within the current framework of physics. There you go, Veed. There you go. Demonic Jedi says, do you think other IPs will start hiring directors/writers that are actually passionate about and honor the source material like the Dune crew has? All love. Yeah, I mean, I think so. I've been thinking about this a lot because like things like ebb and flow, and we're about to enter an era where a lot of telecommunications companies and big tech companies are going to own all of these studios. So, you know, maybe Disney will get sold, maybe not. Warner Brothers seems like it's probably going to get sold or combined or something soon. And it reminded me of something George Lucas said back in the day where, like, in the 70s, all of the people that had originally built the Hollywood studios were selling them to businessmen, corporations, people that didn't really understand the movie business. And so you would think with that happening, oh shit, you know, these people are completely out of touch. What's going to happen to Hollywood? What's going to happen to these movies? But what ended up happening was a lot of these newer studio heads taking chances on a lot of younger talented writers and directors. So you get this whole class of creators like Sidney Lumet, Coppola, Spielberg, Lucas, De Palma. You get this whole sort of crop of really young, talented people that kind of shape Hollywood and really put their stamp on it. And you would think that it wouldn't work like that, but it does. I mean, it did. So with all these telecommunication companies and these big tech companies coming in, I think the tendency is to think like, oh, well, they're not going to get it. They're not going to be in touch. And therefore, we're going to get bad this, that, second, and the third. But because they don't know about it, maybe they would lean on people that did. And I think we could be entering a new kind of era like that, where you have a lot of young, talented filmmakers and writers that are going to start to shape Hollywood in a certain way. And I'm curious to see if any of this has an overlap with YouTubers, right? Because you've got like Chris Stuckman, you've got the Critical Drinker, and then there was a couple of YouTubers that made a horror movie that actually like did well and won some awards. I forget who they are, but they're the most successful YouTubers to make a movie yet, as far as I've seen. So wouldn't it be crazy if you had like YouTubers kind of join in on that movement, you know, as well? Interesting stuff. Interesting time. The K-Man, again, welcome to the Nerd Avengers, man. You are a Nerd Avenger now. Toasted Geek says, I honk Superman will be great, but I am really not digging the logo choice. Doesn't fit a young Clark. Should be used later in his career. Yeah, I think that's a reasonable opinion to have. I understand why you have it. Guess we're just gonna have to wait and see. Maybe he's cooking. Maybe he's cooked. We'll see. IQ Barry says, I just pooped in to send a 4-month poop. Just went to see Dune tomorrow, and I love the first one. You're the GOAT, Josh, even though you smell like poop. Nerd Adventures for life. Appreciate you. Sashin says, I've gotten knighted, but can I be knighted again? Yes, Sashin, welcome to the Nerd Ventures. You are a Nerd Venture now. Elisa Does Life gifted 5 memberships. Holy shit, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Rosie says, review Bad Batch last episode. Review the Bad Batch last episode. Okay, let me try and break it down. Bad Batch last episode. It was an episode. There was adventure. A villain. A choice to do what is easy or to do what is hard. And then it ends in a really cool way where you reunite not only Hunter, Wrecker, and Omega, but you also bring Crosshair into the mix. So I liked it. No, I watched it, guys. Of course I watched it. I thought it was great. Like, I like the poker playing Empire guy. That shit was cool. Kind of like, he felt kind of unique for an Imperial villain, which is, I think, hard to do. And yeah, I mean, you just got a little intrigue, a little bit of mystery. I like the choice between what is hard and what is right. That's core to Star Wars. So they could have just left without the Hound. That would have been the easy way. But you do what's right. And that's the whole point of Star Wars. You know, you do what is right. Okay. Trinity says with a 10 spot, that's a very generous donation. Appreciate you, brother. Says Nate Moore is S tier Marvel villain. I'm not sure that I agree, but I'm open to that being the case. I mean, it doesn't really seem... I haven't really heard much from Nate Moore. Like, Trinity, have you heard much of Nate Moore? I haven't seen much of Nate Moore. I haven't heard much of Nate Moore. It feels like they're building this Brad Winderbaum guy. They're kind of like trying to put Brad more over with the fans. There goes the frickin' music again. Look, here's what it says. Oh, snap. Something went wrong when displaying this web page. Error code out of memory. Maybe I gotta like delete my data and delete the cookies. Maybe we got too many cookies. That's why the music keeps jamming, huh? Huh. Interesting. Mr. Poppy gifted 1 membership. Appreciate you, brother. Sir Louis Bricks says, did you watch the Bad Batch newest episode? Unity! Hype! Dune 2 this weekend. Hell yeah. No, I watched it. We just talked about it, man. Seen Dune. Me and my girl loved it. That's awesome, bro. Yeah, I loved it too. Elisa and I both loved it. And we really needed the break too. So shout out to Grandpa, my dad, for and his wife for coming in clutch and watching Liam so we could get out and see that movie. Elisa and I had a great time. We needed the break, and it was a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece, dude. It's a great movie. The K-Man with a 10 spot. Appreciate you, brother. Says, hello there, Josh. First time super chat. It is my 23rd birthday. Happy birthday to the K-Man. Can we get some cakes, some fires, some candles, and some love in the chat for the K-Man? Last night, let's see here. Dune last night was the best present I could have gotten. I've been here since the Moon Knight watch party, and you are my Lisan El Gaib. Take my money. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. K-Man, that's very kind. I appreciate it. And I definitely won't let the power go to my head The Den of Nerds will certainly not become a crazy cult-like organization, and we won't start asserting our power in political arenas and pulling the strings and levers of powerful people to slowly take over the world. Thank you. Brian Clark, welcome. Oh, wait, it says here, any thoughts on Grace's predicted Avengers lineup of Star-Lord, Shuri, She-Hulk, Wolverine, Sam Wilson, and Spider-Man? You think about how to answer this. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree. I understand her logic, and I think some of her logic is sound, actually. I gotta be honest, though. I think the Avengers of Avengers 5 is going to be a lot like the Avengers in Infinity War and Endgame. What I mean is you have the Guardians joining with the Avengers in Infinity War and Endgame. You've got Thor coming back. You've got all these like players kind of working together. I continued to believe that a lot of the changes being made to Avengers 5 is to be like getting to the good shit faster. We're going to get to Secret Wars shit a lot faster. I know there's some debate about that. But that's what I believe. So I believe Deadpool, Loki, Doctor Strange, Thor, Wolverine, and others are going to be coming in a lot faster. I think, if anything, maybe in Shang-Chi 2, you get like the 616 Avengers, and they will do stuff in that movie. They'll be in Avengers 5, but very quickly you're going to get into the next one. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, Dr. Wargod says, next Star Wars needs relatable characters. Dune has none. MCU used to. DCU never did. Game of Thrones had many. Not sure about Warhammer 40K. Does it have them? So first of all, great point. I actually agree with you. I think you need relatable characters, and I think that's something Dune does not have. Not really. You can't really relate to Paul, you know? Not really. So, yeah. The question is, does 40K have them? Yes, but also kind of no. So I think, like, when I think of relatable characters in 40K, there's the Primarchs. Some of them are like a parody. Some of them are actually quite interesting. Like, I think of Magnus. And Magnus's story and that character is fascinating. And it's tragic. And it's like, damn. It's kind of similar with Horus. Like, kind of tragic, you know? Sanguinius, tragic. But there's certainly some of them that are just big, strong, stoic bad guy. Like, Jagatai, the Khan, and some of the others, right? But there are some other figures, even within the Custodes, you have some figures that are relatable. You've got people like, God damn it, the one Inquisitor, I'm blanking on his name. Everybody thought Henry Cavill was going to be that Inquisitor. So you definitely have some relatable characters. The Emperor himself is sometimes shown as relatable. Like, the Emperor is a really complex and crazy character There are some times where he acts very loving and very fatherly towards his sons. And then there are other times where, like, for instance, what he does to Lorgar and that shit where you're just like, bro, this dude is fucking cold. So, yeah, I think the trick for Warhammer's success will be to build up very relatable characters. Like, I think that's going to be pretty important. For sure. We already went over that. Cole Maynard says, we're on the same boat with Avatar. I had no ties with the cartoon and thought the show was good. Let's position to get Helldivers on Xbox. Much love. Oh, petition, you probably mean. Yeah, that would be cool. I'm loving it on PC, though. I think that shit's dope. So I'm down with that. But yeah, it's the Avatar thing is like, it made me realize where I think a lot of normies come in. Because, like, I think if you don't have any of the knowledge of certain parts of the show, like, Avatar just works. Like, it's cool introduction, it's cool worlds, cool lore. I love the bending, you know, it's kind of interesting. And then I look out online and it's just people are like, fuck this show, you know, and they're like, you know, very, very upset about it. And I was like, damn. And then you look into why and you're like, okay, I could see why. So yeah, I don't know. It's weird. And then I had this moment too where I was like, man, am I being influenced by Twitter? Like, am I now not as into the show because I saw a bunch of fanboys don't like it? And I was like, man, like, that's weird. So, yeah, I don't know. But all I can say for sure is, like, yo, I like Shogun a lot. A lot of good shows I'm liking right now. So unless I'm, like, really compelled to finish something or keep watching something, I'm probably not going to, you know. Chillin' says, what's up, nerds? I like the new symbol. Wonder if we're getting the belted trunks. The name change is interesting. Bad Batch better than some think. Nerd Avengers for life. Yeah, I definitely like Bad Batch. Been enjoying it so far. Yeah, I'm kind of cool with the logo. I think the name change is fine. I mean, it's a little, like, pompous, right? But that's Gunn, you know, totally get it. And, I mean, here's the thing. He can own all of that if he makes this movie great. Like, he literally got the job to be co-president and part of running DC. He hires himself to write and direct the first movie, and it's Superman. I mean, that's either complete total hubris, absolute ego trip, crazy megalomaniac, like, wild shit, or that's talking the talk and walking the walk. Like, that's, it's one or the other. It's either delusion or he knows that he has to be the guy to do it and he knows how to do it and what to do. And I think that's just going to be determined by the final product. Like, we're just going to have to see. Do you know what I mean? And make no mistake about it. If this movie fails, it is the most amount of egg on a big, stupid, white-haired face we've ever seen. Like, it will be crazy if he fumbles. I'm not even rooting for him to fumble, but that's just the truth. Like, you hired yourself as writer-director. So, like, you gotta nail that. You know what I mean? Andrea says, got my special edition Unity. Oh, hell yeah, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the love and the support. Rosie says, Warner Brothers and Paramount deal has failed. Antitrust laws. My understanding was that they backed off of the deal. I did not think that it even went to a place where legally they would have looked at it. But I could be wrong. I haven't followed it very closely. You know what I mean? The real Jesse Lee Reed says, I'm not a stan for tennis, but can we make fun of pickleball instead? Asking for a friend. I think pickleball is kind of cool. Pickleball greater than tennis. Thoughts? Thoughts, chat? Pickleball greater than tennis? Thoughts? Hello? Yes? Photo by Maiko says, seen Dune. My girl and I loved it. Hell yeah, man. Glad that you do. No? Debatable? You're gonna dog on tennis and then simp for pickleball? Yeah. You're just trolling tennis fans now? I didn't think it's possible to troll tennis fans because I didn't actually think there were any tennis fans. Like, I thought that was like some kind of ritualistic Illuminati money laundering scheme. Like, I just assumed that nobody actually gave a shit about that. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be all quiet and shit. Like, you're not even supposed to like cheer and stuff. Like, what the fuck is this? Oh my God, tennis, man. Tennis. Sheesh. Josh versus Kendall in a one-on-one versus tennis match? Dude, I would not be interested in that. Why would I do that? I don't like it. Can you try deviled egg on the Diamond stream? No, because Elisa basically told me I'm not going to like it. I would love to smack Josh around at tennis. Yeah, I bet you would. With your big old spanking paddles. Oh, real cool, man. You got a big old paddle. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Do you grunt too? Do you do a nice grunt when you use your big old paddle and you hit the little ball over the fucking net? Oh, man. Real cool. Oh, dude. And then, wait. Does the ball just go from one side of the court to the other? And then that's what we're doing? Oh, dude. And you got these big old paddles. And you're hitting it and then grunting. Oh, it sounds dope, man. Only when I give a big stroke. Oh my God. And the thing is, you're dead ass. You're dead ass about that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Holy shit. All right. How do I do this Google spreadsheet thing, man? How do I do a spreadsheet? Only when I do a big stroke. Jesus. Okay. Okay, so let's get the Twitch people, let's get the YouTube people. Refresh this page here. Okay, boom. Got a couple more. That's cool. Okay, wait a minute. Analytics. That is not the same thing. I need the subscribers list. How do I get to the subscribers list? Constant milestones. I've done this before. Damn it. Can I click on that? No. Son of a bitch. Is it Stream Manager? Hey, what's up? I see you guys on Twitch. What's the latest on Daredevil? Anything new? Nah, man. Nothing new on Daredevil, brother. Wait. I know there's a way to do this. I've done it before. Is it in earnings, maybe? Hey, I found it. Let's go. Download my subscriber list. Hell yeah. I got it. I figured it out, and y'all didn't help me at all. Replace spreadsheet, detect automatically. Boom. Okay. Did that not? Okay, there we go. Okay, and then I'll get the... I gotta go on YouTube for this one. Okay. By the way, apparently Grace is spilling some tea about Superman in her stream right now. I'd love to know what the tea is. If anybody is watching or you know about it, let me know. let me know. Okay, this one's easier. Memberships. See your members. Download your members. Ha ha! So much easier. Also, does anybody in chat know how to make the Google spreadsheets like it go into dark mode? Like I can't stand like this white screen, and it makes my skin look hideous on camera. Like look at how bad my skin looks right now, and look at that. Oh, what? Oh, look at that. Nice lighting, and then this light's like, ah! You know. God damn it. Why didn't this download? Oh, download. Okay. So there we go. So don't create. Append. 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 Boom. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, 927 members all day. Appreciate you guys for that. Let me get into the dice roller here. What did I just say? 927. Okay, 927. So we got 927. And we've got 2 of these to do, okay? So let me... Hang on. Okay, can you guys see that? 927? Bam! Let's see. Let's see who's going to win the first one. Boom! 750! Who's number 750? Let's find it. Let's find it. Let's find it. Bueller. Don't be Kendall. Don't be Kendall. Oggs Gonzalez. Oggs. Oggs. Oggs, are you there? Wait, what? I'm working on a marketing campaign for a pickleball club in Manhattan that has a $12,000 a year membership fee. I had no idea pickleball was like that. Much love. Unite. Holy shit. What? $12,000? Can you guys imagine paying $12,000? Dude, Oggs is in the building. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Hit me up, man. Hit me up on Discord or hit me up on Twitter. I got a $200 GameStop gift card for you, baby. My man. Can you imagine paying $12,000 a year to go play pickleball? Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy, dude. Holy shit. Okay, we got to do another one. Another one. Because it's a new month. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Damn. Music stopped again. Got to clear my cookies. I got to clear the cookies, man. Did you say we're getting a year-long pickleball membership? Hell nah. All right, here we go. Ready? Let's stop. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Bam! 606. Who's number 606? 606. Oh, shit. It's Paul. Paul Clickingbeard. Hey, Paul, you in here? Paul Clickingbeard? Paul Clickingbeard? Are you in here? Paul. No, not heavy spoilers. It's the first of the month. Hey, Paul Clickenbeard, let's go. Let's go. Both of you guys hit me up, man. Bro, where did you put the first chapter of Unity links? So you have to back the Kickstarter for $1, and then I will send it out to you. So when I get done with this stream, I'm going to get some food, and then I'm going to sit down on my computer, and I'm going to find all the people that backed it for $1, and I'm going to send them a message with the link. And I'll do that every day. So every day I'll check in and see if more people are doing that. It's only going to go for a week. So yeah. Can you open my Christmas giveaway on stream and just give it to the doggos? Well, did you hit me up, Daniel? Did you hit me up on either Twitter or Discord? Elisa said there were 3 names we still needed, or 3 addresses that we still needed. So I didn't realize that, but yeah. Yeah. Does that also apply for the chapter 1 to 2 preview? Yeah, if you get the chapter 1 or 2 preview, I'll send you chapter 1 right away. But you won't get chapter 2 until it's done. See y'all, I'm watching the previews. Wait, what previews? What are you talking about, bro? Oh, for the movie? Are you watching Dune right now, bro? You probably watched that tennis teaser or that tennis preview, and you'll know what I'm saying. You'll know what I'm saying. Nice. You're going to love it, dude. It's a masterpiece. It's also probably going to be the next big thing. I can see it being super franchisable. Video games, movies, posters, cards, books, video games, movies, all that. So enjoy. And I read that off a cue card too. Okay. I have no interest in that tennis movie. Hell yeah, because you know that shit's weak. Okay, guys. Anything else? I'll hang out for like 5 more minutes. What else is on your mind? What else are you guys thinking about? What's up? What's up with you guys? What is even up? What are the weekend plans? The only plans I have is like I'm working with a new editor and kind of like trying him out on the main channel vid, so I got to get some work done on that. I'm gonna try to play Warhammer on Saturday with my buddy. And other than that, just kind of chilling, getting ready for next week. Chilling. Did you read my member chat? I think I did, bro. Yeah, I remember reading it because I remember agreeing with it. Yeah, the Gore the God Butcher thing. I specifically remember reading that because I was like, oof, kind of feels bad, but you're right. Kind of feels bad, but you're right. Gabriel, thanks, man. $10 holla. Very generous. Why were the villains so weak in Dune? Even though I really liked it, I was like, they got completely shit on at the end. No type of get back except destroying their base. Yeah, they don't do a great job of explaining this in the movie, but the Fremen are like just ballers, bro. They're like savage and brutal warriors. So in the first movie, it's kind of explained that House Atreides has some of the best fighters out of all the houses. That's why they get the Emperor's special sword homies to help the Harkonnens rather, come in and take out the Atreides. So between Paul being Paul and the Fremen being absolute savage warriors, they pretty easily take the Harkonnens out. So that's kind of the thing. But I would agree that they don't really establish that super well. But that's the whole thing, I guess. Thinking about lunch, what are you eating? I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to see if Elisa has gotten us anything or cooked us anything. And if not, that's cool. I'll figure it out. It was 200 firemen against literal spaceships and fleets, but the movie was cool. Well, also there's the storm. Also there's the sandworms. Also they have weapons. It's not like they don't have weapons. So, does being a dad make you feel like an older version of yourself? Sometimes. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does not. Yeah. Josh, what's your favorite fast food? Either McDonald's or Wendy's. I like both of them. Diamond Lounge? Yes. We are Diamond Lounging tonight at 8 p.m. That's the thing I forgot to say at the beginning of the stream. What does Avengers the Unknown mean? Is that confirmed to be the new title? Who said that? Who said that? Where's it? Where's that from? Why is my logo red? Well, you are a Nerdvenger member. So you either paid for a membership or you got gifted a membership. So you are a Nerdvenger now, Dr. War God. You've taken your first steps to a larger world. Heavy spoilers? Paul? From Heavy Spoilers? Snyder and Roca reunited, and Snyder said he will start the stream with an apology. Okay, good, but they got a kiss. I will not accept the apology unless they touch lips. He still won't knight us, though. Justified MF. You are a Nerdvenger now. Welcome. Sounds like a filler title. Did Paul really say that? I'm going to hit him up and be like, yo, is this real? And also, why didn't you tell me? Josh, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go? Probably Japan. Tokyo, but technically not Tokyo. There's a city outside of Tokyo that's like adjacent where all of the like manga and comic shops are. That's where I'd go. You know, I want to move my family and career over to Japan because the Japanese are more respectful. So if I was streaming in Japan or I was like building up a fan base in Japan, it wouldn't be a bunch of you people trying to trigger me all the time, trying to be all mean and rude. Everyone would just be really respectful to me. So there you go. They'd be like, oh man, dude, Josh, you write such great comics. Like, dude, you're so cool and we must respect you. Like I was watching Shogun and it's like, you know, all the bowing and all that. And I was just like, goddamn right. That's what I'm looking for. I want everybody gonna fucking just bow to me. Have you seen Tokyo Drift? Love it. Love that movie. I know I would be Gaijin. I understand that. D&D is going to make $1 billion next time. Hell yeah, Justin. That's why I like you, baby. No, they probably wouldn't treat me like that in Japan. Real talk. But no, I like the Japanese culture a lot. Did you see the leaks for Helldivers? Hell yeah, I saw those leaks. Can't wait. Can't wait. Josh would be a Drift King. My favorite line from Tokyo Drift is when the one guy says, my grandmother, she's blind in one eye, and she could drift better than you. I was like, damn, I love this movie. That scene is so funny, dude. That scene is so funny. Okay, guys, we're going to get on out of here. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the super chats, the member chats, the likes, the subscribes, the comments that you are watching on the replay that you're going to make when you get all triggered. I appreciate everybody that backed Unity. Appreciate everybody that's interested in all that. Thank you guys for being here. Much love. Videos throughout the weekend, at least one. Yeah, we'll be back at it next week. Diamond Lounge tonight at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'll see you guys there, okay? Chillin' says Paul was trolling because of some made-up character called the Unknown in a rip-off Willy Wonka experience. Oh, okay. Thanks for that, Chillin'. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. Much love. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Stop the presses. Fanjecture says Dune 3 better have a butthole popcorn bucket to hit 1 billion. All right. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Another happy landing. You know, I didn't want to say this during the stream because I didn't want to make any excuses. But I did not sleep last night. I was like, my brain, I was like, oh shit, like we gotta do all this stuff. We gotta like launch Kickstarter. We gotta do stream today. We gotta talk about all this stuff. I was like, damn, that shit sucks because my brain is gone. So I hope you still had fun. I hope it was still entertaining. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'll do better. But yeah, I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna check on the Kickstarter, try to figure out why nobody can fucking back it. And I'm gonna take a little nap skis. And I'll see you guys tonight at 8, okay? All right. Much love. Remember to open up your third eye and watch out. You're stinky. But